Welcome back to Itsnotjunktv. I'm Jarvis, and today we're going to do something a little different, as always. So hang tight. When we come back, show you what we're dealing with. Alright, so here's what we're working with today. That light's probably blinding out the color. But what we have here is probably a late 1800s, early 1900s front door, solid wood front door. Got some really nice trim, nice door. Got the glass view front in it. But what has happened, I suspect, is at some point, one of the tenants has busted this glass and then tried to repair it themselves because there's the rattle. They didn't put any kind of sealant between it, no window glaze, not even a bead of caulk in there to seal it up, so that means it's letting in all kinds of air and whatnot. So I think what we're going to do is I've already cut some stops, some new ones, some trim I found downstairs that kind of match that's been left for the property. So I think what we're going to do is pull all these stops and get you set back up on the tripod. Hopefully I can get in. If not, I may switch over to a GoPro which will give you a different view. But yeah, this is what we're working on today. We're going to get this piece of glass pulled back out of here, pull off all these stops, get us a bead of silicone on there for now, and then braid these stops back on. Alright, like I said before, we're going to go ahead and pull these stops off of here. Nothing's been nailed right. They just kind of half run some finish nails in along the edge to hold this little strip on, and some cardboard. And so I'm going to go ahead and remove all that, and we'll see what this entails here. Start by taking out their cardboard and screws that they've stuck in here, which I guess is kind of served the purpose, but it doesn't hold any of the weather out. And let's see another screw here. Of course, they didn't drive the nails all the way in because they didn't have a nail set, and they're afraid to bust it. Yeah, that barely even holds in there, so I wonder if the wind didn't blow this in. I think instead of prying around on it, take this little pair of side nippers here and kind of slowly work that back out. Keeping a hold on things. Like I say, these aren't holding about much. And then that one. Leave that one, because that's kind of supporting the top a little bit. And so just take your time. If your glass is not broken, you just want to stop a rattling window. Now, of course, there's different several ways of doing this. You can put you some glazier's putties in there, the old school glazier putty, and then have glazier pointed in, then seal it again. But I'm finding it hard to even find glazier's points anymore. I can find the glazing putty. I looked this morning and couldn't find any. Not the size. They have some little tiny ones if you wanted to do a picture frame or something. But as far as having the size for a piece of plate glass, I didn't see it. I can do this without cutting my hands up or breaking this glass. It should have given me a spot to put it. Alright, somehow I was able to get that out without breaking it, so now I'm going to clean up this opening a little bit, and then I reckon it's time to put some silicone and drop this window in and get a couple of these saves on here so it holds it in. Yeah, pretty gross. Just want to take a rag or a paper towel that's just slightly damp. You don't want it soaking wet, because when you go wipe around this wood, you make it too wet, then your silicone ain't gonna stick right. Silicone and water don't like each other. Just like if you're gonna re-silicone a tub or do anything like that, make sure you let it dry for a day or two. Clean it all up, put a fan on it, let it dry. You try to attach silicone to anything wet and it's not gonna stick. Alright, now that I've got that all cleaned, and it's had to dry for a few minutes, we're going to go back and just lay the ever so smallest. It don't have to be huge. I'm just going to lay just a little bit of silicone right here in this crack. Right in the corner. And if y'all ain't never tried to work with your hands and film at the same time, and you're saying, oh, that's shaky and awful, I recommend you give it a shot. I'll lay it right down in that crack right there. Go up here. It's a little much. Look at that right in. When you're cleaning up silicone, always try to use a dry rag. cleans up so much easier. There, that's going to need cleaned up. Where I just globbed that. Alright. Let that sit there a minute. And then when it globs up a little bit, then we'll start to set the glass. Alright, now I got everything set up. I believe we're ready to start set this pane of glass back in here and throw. I've already cut the 2 stops for both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this back in. Hopefully it'll sit in there nice and tight. And then get a couple of these stops through on it, and we'll cut the tops and bottoms, and the rattle in this door should be done. Alrighty. Go around and give it just a little press. Make sure that silicone spreads out a little bit. Like I say, I made some stops. Figure out how they go in there. There we go. And I hope this nail gun will go through here and not pop nothing. I've got kind of a long brad in here for this. Perfect. Just make sure you don't angle over and hit that glass, because they will kick. They hit a hard spot in there, and brads will kick to one side. Get this all pressed in here nice. Like I said, we'll go on the outside. And put it up here. Yeah, there we go. And do that around. Go ahead, fit that round. Yeah. Set it in here at the bottom. Well, there's that part. Let me pause the video here for just a second. And if you've not taken a moment to like and subscribe, now would be the perfect time. I keep making these videos, hoping somebody out there enjoys them, and I've got a pretty good following so far. Not necessarily looking for the following, but I just like to know that people like the videos. So if you would, hit the like and subscribe. Press the bell icon, that way you get notifications. My videos, I tend to put out 1, 2 a week. I've also got a series of shorts, if you want to check those out. But when we come back and we go cut the last 2 stops, we'll get these put in, and we fixed another one. Well, I guess we probably should look and make sure I ain't blowing these brads out the front of this door. I didn't even think about that. That's something you need to think about. When you're using a brad that's a little longer than what you really need, because that's what I had with me. And I probably should check. Had a little squeeze out on the outside of some of that silicone. You can see me. There we go. So had a little squeeze out outside. I'll let that cure a little bit, and it'd be easier after it cures to go ahead and scrape it off there. Don't try to smear it around while it's wet. But that's it. That's it. It's that simple. If you've got an antique wooden door that's rattling, now if it's a double pane, newer modern steel door, and you're getting some drafts around it, you're better off just replacing. But if you got an antique mahogany door like these are, now in this instance, I didn't have to do the cleanup that you're probably going to have to do. Like I say, if you're replacing the glass or you're just wanting to fix the rattle in the glass, that surface that you're going back onto needs to be clean. I didn't use glazier's points, I didn't use glazing putty. That stuff, after a couple years, it's going to dry out and it's going to rattle. Couldn't find the glazier's points, so it didn't get any. So the only thing will be holding us in is the silicone and those wood stops that I put on the inside. That's going to work just fine. I know there's going to be people that argue and say, oh, antique door, you should put glazier putty, blah, 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 blah. None necessary. Again, like I say, after a couple of years it dries out and it's going to rattle and make the same noise. Let air in. Use the silicone. Make sure everything's clean. Make sure everything's dry. It's not a difficult job. Most difficult thing is handling the pane of glass. If you're going to be pulling out an old piece of glass, the chances of it breaking as you come back out, especially if the door's been painted a bunch of times, you've squirted silicone on the inside or around it trying to seal it up, it may end up breaking on you. So plan on being able to get to your hardware and pick up another pane of glass. Don't buy the cheap stuff. Buy the safety glass. Don't buy the single pane, single strength, $8 a piece, whatever it is. Buy the next size up. That way you're protected and your hand's not going to go through it. Just be careful. It's glass. You can really hurt yourself. So you're doing this at your own risk. I'm not telling you to do it or telling you how to do it. I'm just giving you some tips, something to look for. But I really appreciate you stopping by. That's the end of this video. It's not a long one, but hopefully it helps somebody out there. I'm Jarvis. This is Itsnotjunktv. And until the next one,